Hello. So today I will be talking about why social media should be limited and what it could do to your mental health if you continue to stay online or social media for long periods of time. And also, I'm going to be talking about maybe ways to help you not be so addicted to social media. So here goes. So social media's negative impact on mental health addiction and its widespread of information can cause anxiety, it can cause depression, and of course low self-esteem. It's unrealistic realities and comparisons to yourself. Social media sometimes creates a false sense of what's reality, leading people to feel less than and also causes a lot of anxiety. Um, Social media is designed with constant notifications, and it's also designed to be addictive. Um, Relationships and overall well-beings, it can completely take a toll on it. It can take a toll on relationships for sure. It can lead to lack of productivity. It can lead to poor sleep and the inability to focus on what actually matters. Online harassment and cyberbullying can damage relationships and cause a hostile environment. Data collection raises concerns of privacy and misuse of information. Sharing info can expose risks of identity theft and stalking. Those are some privacy risks that can happen, on social media. Um, it also amplifies hate speech and misinformation, making it harder to figure out what's real life, and what's false, what's not true. Social media spreads tons of fake news and hateful speeches. All this misinformation can cause so much damage to people. For example, lack of trust in institutions, society, and incite violence. Social media is filled with images of perfect bodies and happy families and successful careers, which can make us feel a little inadequate if our lives do not measure up to these standards. So it can make us feel less than if we don't, live up to what social media looks like. This constant comparison can lead again to depression, anxiety, and low self esteem. Additionally, social media can also be a source of cyberbullying and harassment and hate speech. It is not uncommon for people to be attacked online, leading to a negative impact on your mental health. Cyberbullying can have a devastating effect, specifically on young people. They may feel isolated or helpless. That is very, very important, I feel, because young people are going through this stage. Their brain is not fully developed, and they just want to be liked. They just want to fit in, and cyberbullying can lead these kids, you know, to a not a bad road, but feeling less than with themselves, and if they don't speak to someone about it or stop the harassment, then no telling how these kids are feeling, and it can affect the way they live for the rest of their life. Um, Social media can also lead to feelings of addiction. Why do we need to take action? I believe it is essential to protect ourselves from negative impacts on social media. Our mental health is very, very important. We need to prioritize our mental health and recognize the impact of social media can have on it. Here are some reasons why I think we should take action. Number one would be to improve our mental health. Our mental health is crucial to our well-being, as you know, and we may take steps to protect it. By taking action to limit our exposure on social media, we can improve our mental health and reduce the negative impact that social media has on our lives. If you're not on it as much, you don't see all this stuff. The next one would be to set a good example for others. I know I have kids. If my kid sees me on, Facebook all the time or on social media all the time, they look up to me. So they would just want to follow in my footsteps, and that's something that I don't want my kids to do. You take action to protect your mental health. We set good example for others. We can show our friends, our family, and our colleagues that it is possible to use social media responsibly and prioritize our mental health and our everyday life. The third one would be to reduce the spread of negativity online. By limiting our exposure to social media, we can reduce the spread of negativity online. We can reduce the amount of cyberbullying. How do we take action on this? I believe we set limits to our social media. You go on social media for, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at night. You set a guideline and you set a routine of when you go on Facebook or whatever social media, and when you get off. The second thing that I find is very important to this would be selective in who you're following. It's important to know who you're following. These people can see, who you are, where you live. They have your email address, they have your phone number. It's just very important to know who you're following, so that way none of the negativity or cyberbullying or any of that, affect you. Practicing self-care. We can take practice in self-care by taking time to disconnect from social media and focus on activities that bring us joy and relaxation. And we can also seek professional help if we need. The conclusion is that social media has become a part of our lives, but it can have a negative impact. So we have to limit our exposure to social media to help our mental health. It's possible. Try it. Thank you.